There is no damn love without respect.
Don't criticize each other, put each other down.
Don't use the secret that you are telling to each other
Exactly.
to deeply insult
Yes.
and target your partner.
Do you think that you should prioritize your own individual growth over the growth of the relationship itself?
You can lie for a good purpose.
You can. Most people would actually, I feel, challenge you on that. I definitely felt like you were going a different path from us.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone, on Relate Right.
I'm Elle.
And I'm Fab.
And here at Relate Right, we are all about relationships and helping you connect better with each other. And today's topic is, how do you know if you're in a healthy relationship? You might think, why are we even doing this podcast? It should be so obvious, right? But I think everybody thinks they're in a healthy relationship. You don't actually truly know that you're in a healthy relationship until you're in one. And you got to go through a few bad ones to really know and appreciate the good ones. So we're actually going to give you some examples or some reassurances to really solidify your thoughts and your feelings, and to let you know that you really are. You actually are in a healthy relationship and you totally deserve it. You're committed to the relationship. You're both committed to the relationship. Mm-hmm. That is a sure way to know that you are in a healthy relationship. Both of you have to have a part to play and both of you have to contribute equally.
It seems like so logic when you say just like a title, but after when you realize how many couples are in a relationship, say that they love each other, but they are not committed.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Or they think they are committed, but they are not committed. They think that they are at the same level of commitment, and they are not. You know?
This is actually so true, because a lot of the times both people in the relationship are just looking at what they're receiving.
Yeah.
And what they should be receiving instead of what they're giving.
Uh-huh.
And I read somewhere, it says everybody's so eager to be understood that they're not willing to be understanding. And it resonated so much with me because I see so many relationships where that is the absolute case.
Yeah.
And where people are comparing other people's relationships to their own and saying things like, oh, but my partner doesn't do that, or my man doesn't do that, or he should do that, he should do this. But we never really sit here and think about, well, what am I doing to not to say to deserve it, but what am I doing to model that behavior and to inspire my partner to be just as giving?
Yeah, and on top of it, sometimes the thing that's happened as well is when you have one who have this mindset who try to do this work on himself, and try to do it, and the other one doesn't. Yes. So you create an imbalance.
Yeah.
So be committed together in the relationship should be the first things. But I feel like it's not something tangible. It's not something that you can truly see at first. You know what I mean? Because you have to work on it internally, but also you have to work on it for your relationship.
Exactly.
You know? So it's two jobs that you have to do.
Yes.
Who look like one.
Exactly.
So for the people who don't have this mindset of taking a step back and watch the whole situation on themselves, it's going to be hard, because being committed come with work.
Yeah.
Not just come like that, you know?
Well, it comes with self-awareness.
Exactly.
And it comes with a growth mindset.
Yeah.
So you're completely right. And you know what? As you're talking, you reminded me of a previous podcast that we had. It's called How Do You Know He Really Loves You? And
just there.
Yes. And Fab said in this podcast, he said, if you can ask yourself, is that person willing to do the same for me? That's how you know that they love me or are committed to me, right? So you have to feel as well that, your efforts would be reciprocated or are reciprocated in this relationship. You respect each other. Again, it sounds so basic and so obvious, but it's so deep.
There is no damn love without respect. You understand me?
That's fact.
There is no love without respect.
No.
Okay? And when you hear that, you're like, yeah, that's normal, but do you apply this in your relationship? Do you apply this when you talk? Do you have some word that you don't say, you never say in your relationship? There is word who cannot be said in your relationship. There is phrases that you cannot pronounce in your relationship. There is attitude that you cannot do in a relationship. There is many things who are forbidden in a relationship.
Yeah.
If you cross this line, there is no return back. It's just a circle we're gonna start. You know, it's like everything in life. When you start to do some things and you see that you had an argue and you say some things that you never said, but because you were hungry, you just say it, and after you kind of resolve the argue, but the next argue that you had, you're gonna use these things again and even more and even more, and the next one, and after you start to disrespect each other in public, and and it start, so the respect, it's some things that should be there, and it should be untouchable rules.
I completely agree. And there's definitely things that you should never say or do. And before we move on to, talk more about this topic, there is actually a podcast where we talk about what you should never say to your man, but it really applies to both.
Just there.
It really does apply to both. I mean, don't mention breaking up straight away. Don't swear. Don't criticize each other. Put each other down.
Don't use the secret that you are telling to each other
exactly
to deeply insult and target your partner. Don't do that.
Yeah, because
don't betray.
Exactly. I when I think of respect, the best way to get respect in a relationship or in any type of relationship is to honor what you say. Be honest with what you say and keep what you say true.
Your word are who you are. I keep saying that.
It's absolutely true. Your word is your bond, and your word, it should mean something. You should not just talk in the air and completely disregard like you haven't said things. You should say the things you mean and mean what you say and do what you say. And that is one of the easiest ways to build respect and to build trust. Again, it sounds so easy, but it's actually very difficult for a lot of people.
Yep.
And look, if you can't keep what you said that you were going to do, you got to communicate. And that's it.
Yeah.
So as we're kind of talking, I'm thinking, do you think that there is occasions where it's okay to compromise on respect? Or is respect always non-negotiable?
Always non-negotiable.
Okay.
Some people are gonna tell me, yeah, but she threatened me, or he threatened me, and I had to threaten him back. Then you're at the same level.
Exactly.
Then you are on the same level. That's what I mean. Respect. It's not possible to compromise. There is no compromise. If you cross the line, one time it's a mistake. It can happen. You can do a mistake. 2 times, it's a crime.
Yeah.
It's a crime. So, like I said, the respect, when you cross the line of the respect, it can lead to betrayal. It can lead to many things who are painful, or I would say disgusting even, It became disgusting.
It does.
So, you need to act at the first mistake and be sure that it will never happen again if it's already happened. If it never happened, you should set those boundaries and always be sure that no one gonna cross those boundaries. You and your partner.
And as you're speaking, it makes me think of another really great point about respect is the person who's been disrespected will also lose the respect
Of course.
of the partner
Yeah.
if they continue to allow the disrespect.
Yeah.
And so in that scenario, you're both losing. You're both losing respect for each other.
Yeah. It's a circle.
Exactly.
It's a circle.
So the person doing the disrespectful stuff, not okay, but the person being disrespected also should never allow it.
Yeah.
Should never allow it, because eventually you're both gonna start to look at each other differently, and it will. Your relationship will be futile.
And take care of it. If it's happened once, take it. You have to take care of it seriously. You have to take care of it seriously. Don't let it go. Don't let it go somewhere and try to forget it. And it's happened. It's okay. No. You need to sit, fix it, set a boundaries. It never happen again. Otherwise, then you have to act. If it's happened again, you have to act.
Yeah.
So, no compromise on respect. No compromise. Never.
You trust each other. Again, super simple, but super deep. Trust and respect kind of go hand in hand in a way.
Yeah.
You both have to be able to contribute to the building of trust. Because I think most people go into a relationship, and I wouldn't say you trust each other 100%, right? Because you're still getting to know each other.
Yeah.
But you have to work on building that trust.
I mean, trust need to be on. Even if you're in a relationship, it's not because you say now we are in a relationship that you can trust you trust someone. You're gonna say I trust him or I trust her. Yeah, you're gonna say it. But the only way you will be able to see it is by the act.
Yeah.
That's the only way. Some people sometimes they come to see me and they say, "Oh, he's a good guy," or "She's a good girl." Doesn't mean anything for me.
Yeah, same.
I always say that. Doesn't mean anything. He's a good girl, he's a good guy. Okay, cool. Hello, how are you? We're gonna talk, we're gonna see how you act. We're gonna see what is your value, what is there is many different things for me to trust you
Yes.
as a human.
Yep.
It's not just when we talk. You can say whatever you want when you talk. So as we say, talk, words are who you are, but people know how to use them as well
Yeah.
and to fake it. So you need to realize it. Even if you stay as you stay behind you act and you stay behind your word, but when you are in front of people or when you are with your partner as well, they need to act like they deserve to be trusted.
Yes.
When you're gonna feel and when you're gonna see that, then you can trust someone because the act go with it.
Absolutely. I mean, words and actions, they have to be aligned.
Exactly. But some people can do they can tell you things that you want to hear. they are really good to
My
do that.
favorite is when people tell me, I never lie. You know me. I would never lie. You know me. I am not a liar.
Everyone lie.
Do I? I mean, people can say whatever they want. People can tell you to your face, look you in your eye, say whatever they want. At the end of the day, we're all human.
Exactly.
And there would be an occasion when somebody lies, whether it's big or small.
And by the way, everyone lie. I lie. Lie doesn't mean that you lie is not good,
Yeah.
That's fake. Because you can lie for a good reason. You can lie for a good purpose.
You can. Most people would actually, I feel, challenge you on that.
Yeah, they can. We can talk. But you can lie for a good purpose.
Like what?
An example. If I take an example just like that, sometimes you can have an information on someone, but it's not your job to say this information. So you have to let the people who have to tell these people the information, the information. So then you have to lie and pretend that you don't know anything.
That's true.
Is this act make you a bad person? No. You had to do it. It's not your job. Sometimes you have to shut your mouth. So you lie. You have to lie.
Yeah.
But for a good reason. So that's an example. That's just one example. But there is many examples we need to lie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that's why the people who tell you, I don't lie, they lie already.
You agree to disagree, which in more simple terms is you compromise. Look, sometimes you don't have to have a solution that you both agree on. Sure, you can just move on. You can have a difference of opinion and move on, and it's okay. I mean, it shouldn't happen all the time, but sometimes it's going to happen. At the very least, you need to reach mutual understanding. So I think that's a really good way to know if you're in a healthy relationship, is by the fact that you can respectfully have a difference in opinion. You can respectfully handle conflict. And look, sometimes you won't have a solution. Sometimes the solution is that you just have opposing views.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be agree on everything.
Exactly.
You will not be able to be agree on everything during the long-term relationship.
Exactly.
But at least you understand your partner, and like you said, you compromise.
Exactly.
You compromise. Be agree to disagree. It will be during the whole way of the long-term relationship.
Exactly.
It
Like,
will be there all the time until the end.
when you have this and when you have respect, it's the most important, because, for example, Fab is plant-based. He has a
Yeah.
plant-based diet, right? And, even though this is something that was new to our relationship, this is what he's chosen and what he believes is healthy.
It was hard at the beginning.
It was, but you've done it, babe. Like,
Yeah.
it's been a while now. It's
I
been
mean,
over a year.
it was even hard for her because she knew I was going to.
That's a whole different story, but that definitely triggered me. In the beginning, it did, because, I definitely felt like you were going a different path from us
Yeah.
by changing. I guess it's a lifestyle choice, right? And it's one that I don't see for myself. However, in that moment, I kind of felt betrayed. And I think it's just from my past experiences, when people change so drastically, unexpectedly, it triggers me. And so instead of focusing on the fact that this is what Fab has chosen for himself and his health, and that it was important to him, I was focusing on how it made me feel. And my fears were manifesting in the sense that, oh my God, now, we're going to break up and everything's going to change and it's going to ruin our relationship because, even though it's just a diet, it's not. It's a statement, and it's a complete lifestyle change.
Exactly.
And I was afraid that he was going to make me change to be like him. And that was a really triggering point for me. However, we compromise in the end, because whilst I'm not plant-based, I love cooking plant-based stuff for him. I love trying new things. I respect the fact that he's able to do it. I see the benefit. I see the value. I see that it fits with him and his physiology, for example. And look, obviously, I've become more like I eat more plant-based things as well.
Yeah.
Which is better for me too. So I think in the end, we kind of agreed to disagree. So we have different views on our diet,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that we don't support each other.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, and also I never forced her to change as well.
Yeah.
Even if you have different, I would say different vision about certain things, you don't have to change your partner to be like you, But when you understand each other, even in the disagreement, you can find the balance, the middle, and then naturally there will be, if it's a like we talk about health. My thing, what about the health? And as she realize it and she see it as well, sometimes she come to meet me on my side, and that's it. And when she go back on her things, sometimes I don't say anything. Because me, of course, I won't eat.
Yeah.
I won't eat the meat or things like that. But just to show you that when she go back and she eat meat next to me, that's okay. I have nothing about it, you know. But we are agree to disagree because it was a process. We process it. At the beginning, there were a shock, you know.
Yeah.
But we understand each other. We understand each other. We always talk. We always come back and talk. We always uh, uh, talk about the benefits. I had to talk about the benefits. I had to show as well. Sometimes when you have as well, when you take a radical changement, you need to show. You need to show that you're serious about it, and you need to show as well that you are behind about your act, the thing that you're gonna do. You know, for real. Because otherwise, they won't respect you as well. If you just say things and you don't do it as well, you know, it's different. But yeah, so be agree to disagree. It's so important. You need to learn how to do it if it's not the case already.
You know you're in a healthy relationship when you forgive each other. You need to be able to forgive. You need to be able to feel for your person. And if you don't, and if you don't want to, then maybe you're not in a healthy relationship.
Yeah, I mean, you need to be able to forgive. You need to be able to say sorry. You need to be able to
Yes.
it's a bit a vulnerability in one sense as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because for some people and for me it was like that as well at the beginning. It was hard to say sorry or even to say I forgive you as well, you know, just
Yeah.
this type of thing as well, you know. It was a bit hard, you know, just to say them, or you know what I mean. It was hard at the beginning, but when you are in a healthy relationship, you learn during this relationship.
Yes.
Things will never be there before, you know. Even if you had a long relationship before and you enter in another one, you're gonna learn other type of things because it's not the same. You're not with the same human, you know. So everything's when you are in a relationship, you're learning while you are in this relationship at this moment with this person. So that's why I say as well, even if it's still hard for you to say some or to forgive, or you know, it's hard to realize it. If you have these things and you're watching this podcast, and in your mind you're like, I want to do this. I want to do this job. You know, I want to do it in my mindset. I want to start to train myself to do it, to be natural on this. Then you are already on the process. You know,
Exactly.
that's the thing as well. Because we talk about different points, but we don't come in relationship with all those points at the same time.
Of course.
Sometimes you are like that. After you learn how to talk more, how to be more vulnerable, and after, you know. So the only thing is you need to have this mindset of always growing and always learn, and always be able to modify some trait that you had since 20 years. You know,
Yes.
that's the thing as well. It's hard when you have some trait who's there and you're like, oh, that wasn't the good one, the good trait, you know. I
Yes.
need to change it more left, more right, more whatever, you know. But if you have this mindset, you are already on the process, you know. So forgive each other. Forgive each other. It's
I think it's essential.
It's essential.
It's essential. And in order to forgive each other and in order to say sorry, you must have empathy for your partner. And again, it sounds so obvious. It sounds so obvious, but I've seen it so many times where couples, especially ones who have been together for a long time, they lose empathy for each other.
Yeah.
And they stop saying sorry. And they stop forgiving each other.
I mean, yes, and when you stop to have empathy, you stop a lot of things behind it in your relationship.
So you're comfortable in who you are and independent from your partner as well. So just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that you're not a human being of your own.
Yep.
Of course, you're going to depend on your partner for certain things, but you cannot be dependent on them. You cannot depend on them to be your sole happiness.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you have to have a sense of self and self-worth.
Because they like to say, oh, he's my half or she's my half. She's not. She's someone that you learn to love and who's gonna be your partner. You together
Yes.
gonna form a team.
Yes.
We're gonna go somewhere.
Yeah.
It's more like that. Because, like you said, you cannot be dependent 100% on your partner. You need to have your own personality, your own life, as well. In the same, you have a world together,
Yes.
and in this world, you both have a life.
Yes.
Lives. Even if I'm aware about your life, you're aware about my life and what I'm doing in my life and things like that, but we still have our lives.
Yep.
There is things that you still want to do even if you are with me now.
Of course.
And I'm not there to tell you now you cannot do it.
Yeah.
Also, so same for her. That's why really important, because if you don't feel that you can be like that in your relationship, that means there is a problem. If you don't feel that you can still be yourself, even if you are involved in certain type of your trait or certain type of your mindset and things like that, but you're still yourself. You're still someone who like to do this or love to see these friends or love to do that, and you have your own ritual and things like that, your life ritual. If you can't be yourself and you have to change fully 100% everything that you were before, that means there is a problem in it. There is something wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that you should prioritize your own individual growth over the growth of the relationship itself?
Hard question. But when you're in a relationship, I think the relationship first.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean that you cut yourself 100%, because when you ask me this question,
Yes.
this question it's for both of you, not just you.
Yes.
That means your partner meets you somewhere in the relationship, and you guys, with compromise sometime, make the relationship grow, but at the same time you grow as well, and she or her or he grow as well. Your partner grow as well. So I don't think you should prioritize yourself, because that means you let the relationship on the side.
You're comfortable when you're not your best within the relationship.
Yeah.
That's definitely a sign that you're in a healthy relationship as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you're comfortable when you're not the best, it's because you know that behind there is someone, your partner, who's gonna be there.
Yeah, there's a strong foundation.
There's a strong foundation. You don't feel that you're going into a well by yourself, even when you have someone next to you. You know what I mean? No. If you feel comfortable when you're down because you know inconsciously that your partner gonna be there, it's a really good sign. It's a really good sign, because I love to say that. I said it's during those moments that you be able to quantify the act
Exactly.
of your partner.
And it's not just about them being there, but on top of it, not being judged. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think that's such an important part. Because, sometimes your partner would be there, but they'd be judging you.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily healthy.
If they judge you, they are not fully there 100%.
Exactly. Do you think that it's healthy if you're completely comfortable with each other's flaws? Or do you think that people should try to improve for the sake of the relationship?
I mean, I feel like it's not because sometimes you have flaws that you cannot improve, that you cannot accept them and then improve them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think even to improve some things, you need to have them.
True.
So in this question, that's what I would say. I would say you need to be able to recognize them, to be there for them, because sometimes even before to find a solution to these flaws, you need to understand them. You need to process them. And we know we are not the same, so everything's gonna be different between the different humans. But after, the most important things It's you need to have a partner. You need to have a partner and a dynamic in this relationship. That the dynamic is okay. After this, then now we need to stand up.
Right.
We need to stand up. We're gonna find whatever it is. We're gonna help us, but we need to stand up. And most importantly, we're gonna stand up together.
Exactly.
That's the most important things.
And finally, you make good decisions together. Definitely key. With making a decision, there's so much that comes into it. Strong communication, compromise, conflict resolution, future goals, all of that stuff. Like all of that combined it comes into decision making.
Yeah. That's the ultimate goal, I would say. Make the good decision together. Make the good decision together. You need to understand each other.
Exactly.
Because while you're making this decision, one of you guys will have to make compromise. Because sometimes you won't be able to. Maybe you won't see the same things, but sometimes you will be able. You will have to accept the vision of the partner, because maybe he sees some things that you don't.
Right.
You need to be able to recognize this as well, without ego, without all these things we come with. Then come all the things that we said before as well. Everything are mixed together. That's why the relationship is so complex. It's not just two people who are together and make child and have a house. For a long term, we always talk about long term relationship. Things kind of disappear now. But
that's the goal, though, right? Goal. I think that's the goal for everybody. If you're talking about relationship, you don't want to be in a relationship for 5 months and keep switching. For the most part, people's goal is to have a lasting connection with somebody.
But to have a lasting connection and a lasting relationship with somebody, there is work we need to be done. And there come from the problem with most of the people, is they are not allowed, or they are not ready to do this type of work, to do this life. When you go to nightclub all the time, when you do all these type of things, when you have your life and you want to be in a relationship but still have your past life, or all these type of things, you don't want to compromise and things like that. There is another part of you who need to be in this relationship to be able to go far away. You need to improve yourself and be a better human while you are in a relationship. It's not easy. It's not gonna be easy.
It's not. And you said something really crucial. I think you got to drop the ego with everything in a relationship. That's the hardest part. Like a lot of the time, our ego rules us. And we don't make good decisions when we think with our ego, and when we think about being right, and when we think about just what we want. So when you're in a relationship, you both have to think as a we, and what's best for the we, not what's best for me.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of courage.
Yes.
Because you do in the beginning feel like you're sacrificing a part of yourself, but that's part of the process. If you want a successful relationship, you need to move as a unit, and you need to be able to be disciplined enough to make a decision that is going to benefit the relationship more than just yourself.
And if you're already doing all of this, it means that you are in a really good relationship. And I can tell you, congratulations.
I love it. So this is the end of our How Do You Know You're in a Healthy Relationship podcast. Let us know if any of these things resonated with you. I hope that they did, because if they did, that means you are in a super healthy relationship.
And put healthy in the comment if you are.
Yes, hashtag healthy.
Hashtag healthy.
I love it. We want to hear more. Let us know if there is something we missed, or let us know if you and your partner do something else that makes you feel really good inside and reassured that you are in a really great union.
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Everywhere, guys. You can find us. Read it right.